What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 101. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by Phaneckswhy.
What's up?
We got a little duo podcast going on, and Ash will be joining us a little bit later, and Bryant is out today, which kind of sucks because we were going to talk about his favorite game, the game he's most excited about, that he can't get enough trailers for, and that is Monster Hunter Wilds. But not, I'm just kidding. Bryant would hate that I said that because, as you know, he's kind of annoyed of the amount of Monster Hunter Wild trailers there's been. Not saying that he doesn't like the game. I don't know. I don't even remember if he's into Monster Hunter. But I agree. There's been just too many Monster Hunter Wild news, and it's kind of like stop it already. It reminds me of what was that? What was that one game? I don't know if you remember, fan. It was a PS5 exclusive. Deathloop. There we go. Like Deathloop, they kept showing the trailers at every state of play, and it got so annoying. Kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, there was actually news this week. There was quite a bit of news this week, and some last week. We didn't do the podcast last week, but there's still quite a few things that we have to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Gamescom, of course, because Gamescom happened this week. And there were some other little things that I feel were big things, anyways, that were announced on like Twitter and just on its own that we're going to be talking about today. But as always, before I begin, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to share the channel. It does help out a lot. I do want to apologize for not putting up a video this past week. Just a lot of stuff going on, and I'm trying to get this thing sorted out so I can go full speed again and continue doing mass videos. So I will apologize. This probably might continue for like another week before I get everything sorted out. So once again, I want to apologize ahead of time, but I will try to go ahead and continue putting out videos as fast as possible. So let's go ahead and start with some news, starting with Genki things. I specifically said Genki things. I believe their name now is like Human Things, but they're still Genki. Not too sure. Anyways, they have a Kickstarter up for some new accessories that they are releasing, and they're actually pretty cool. I was actually gonna show them on here. Give me a second to bring it up. But there's some cool things that they actually have coming out that I'm actually been looking forward to, and I'm probably gonna get some of this. So give me 1 minute to go ahead and share my screen. I will share it on Discord as well, fans, so you can take a look at it.
All right, cool.
Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't slow down the stream like it usually does. No, I don't want to see my screen. And then cool. We got that. Kickstarter on here. And before I do that, we are gonna go to. Sorry, I gotta set up the scene here. I apologize for being very quiet right now. There we go. A little bit different because I'm using my second monitor to show this, so it might not show up the best. It's just gonna be a square here. But anyways, yeah. So they announced a partnership with 8BitDo. They have a new controller coming out. New. Oh, looks like the stream cut off. Oh, there goes reconnection. I'm getting encoder overload. Oh, of course. This happens at this time. I might have to stop sharing the screen. Let me see what happens if I stop sharing.
It's fine. I'll just pull it up on my own browser. No
Okay,
big deal.
gotcha. Yeah, there we go. We're back up. Yeah, interesting. It's kind of weird. Like this happened now because last time I shared my screen, I did not have that issue at all. It just worked, and I shared the screen now, and it has this issue. I don't get it. Always random, always random. But yeah, it made Twitch go down. So give me a second while I go ahead and get everything back up on here. Let's see. Okay, cool. We're back up on Twitch, I believe. All right, yeah. As I continue, yeah. So SN30 Pro controller, basically, like I don't see anything new, from the SN30 Pro except for like Hall effect sensors, which I believe. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 8-bit do kind of updated it and added Hall effect sensors anyways on their things on their new
I don't know
SN30
if it's
Pro.
on that. I
Okay.
don't know if it's on that version, but it is on the one with the PS2 looking one with the little handles.
The handles, yeah.
Yeah, that one has Hall effects. I don't
Okay.
know if they did it with this one. That's one I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I wonder if with how the buttons are laid out, if you can pop off the case and just like interchange them around, because it looks like you can probably just. I don't think they're slotted for specific layout. You can probably
Yeah.
move the buttons around.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it can. I don't know if they say anything on here. I don't
Yeah, I'm
think
just going
so.
based on the picture. Like it looks like that it
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, like on here, it doesn't really say much. I mean, it says it's universal, but like the SN30 Pro was universal as well. It has like the button presses, which you would have to do to kind of change it from PC to Steam to Switch to Apple and Android, which is the same on the SN30 Pro. So that's nothing different there. I mean, it looks nice. I like the design and the color scheme. I'm not sure how you feel about this, but I think it looks cool.
Yeah, the atomic clear, I guess you want to call it, or atomic white or clear crystal or whatever,
Yeah,
is kind of cool. Like a lot of these, they're going back to like the retro back in the day. How these were just rampant.
yeah,
Like everything was like clear case.
yeah. Yeah, which I like actually. Like I do like the clear design and everything. Like I think it's just awesome. It's something I'm really looking forward to. Right now, if you back this controller, I think it comes with like $42. Yes, $42. MSRP is $50. And then if you do,
Not
you can do a
terrible.
pack of 5, which is $149. For a pack, I'm sorry, a pack of 4 for $149. MSRP is 200. So I like the design. I am probably gonna pick it up, and will give me an excuse to actually go ahead and do a review on it. What's in the package? Yeah, see, even says right here, 8-bit do SN30 Pro Bluetooth gamepad. So it literally just is that, except that it added the Hall effect sensors, and that's really it. Nothing different, not that I know of, at least. This bag is actually pretty cool. They got the Saya carry. That's a pretty decent bag. It has like a little like card thing too that has Apple
Mhm.
Find My, so you can use it with like the Find My devices. So basically, what if for those of you who don't know or don't have like Apple products, if you have Find My, kind of like Find My iPhone, like if you lose your phone, you can find it. You can also find other devices, right? There's like AirTags and all these other devices. So this actually has that built into it. So if you lose this, then you can go ahead and find this bag, which hopefully you don't lose it because you'll probably have stuff in it. But the bag's pretty cool. It's kind of just like a, what would you call it, like a sling bag, I guess you could say. Not even a sling. I don't know what type of bag you would call it. I'm not good with bag names. Uh, but basically, the way they designed it, they said they were influenced by like the way samurais would draw like their katanas, and the way you would open it, you can slide out your game device just by going ahead and like sliding it like you would a sword, which I think is pretty neat because most bags, right, the entrance is at the top, so you have to open it up and then pick it from the top. Versus here, you can open it on the side and then just take it out and slide it out without having to take off your whole bag or anything like that. And I think that's pretty cool. And it seems to be pretty good quality. They're water resistant or like water repellent, right? So you don't have to worry about like being in the rain and water damaging your devices. It seems to have like enough pockets to put your devices. It shows that it's made to fit like a Switch, an ROG Ally, Steam Deck, any of those devices in there. iPad Mini was also shown, and of course it can fit a bunch of different accessories as well. Right here, you can see that there's a little grid that kind of shows everything. It even has the 1X player, which is pretty huge. Um, so it could fit a lot of different devices in this bag, and it seems pretty cool. And I'm thinking, I've been actually thinking of like a small carrying bag for when I go out to places where I can fit something small, like maybe not the Steam Deck, but I can put like my RG Cube or any other emulation device that I might get. And this looks like it might be it. Seems pretty good. As far as pricing goes, let me scroll all the way down to get to the pricing. I think it was like $60 if I'm not mistaken. $69, and it comes with a bag, comes with that Find My tracker, which they're calling the Saya tab, and then it comes with it's what they call the Saya swipe cleaner, which has a spray, is a spray bottle, and then on the other side is a microfiber, like I don't know, and so you can clean your devices with it. And there is the $89 one, which comes with the same stuff, but this one is Cordora, which I think is a higher like brand or better quality. I don't know anything about bags, so I have never heard of this. But apparently, it's supposed to be just better quality, and it's in black too, if you care about that stuff. But that's pretty cool there. And then the last thing that I think is the coolest out of all three of these is they have what's called the save point. It's basically an M.2 enclosure uh, that also has MagSafe on it, which to me is awesome because the way you can use this is you can go ahead and let's say like for me when I record my videos, I use my phone. I can attach this SSD to the back of my phone while recording, and it's small enough. They have a picture of it that it's the same exact size of a PS2 memory card, so it's that small. Where just attached to the back of your phone magnetically, and of course you can plug it into your phone and record directly to that. And of course you can carry up to a 2 terabyte SSD in it, and that's pretty awesome. The other neat thing about this enclosure, there's also power pass through. So in one of the pictures they have here, they have it attached to the back of a Steam Deck because it also comes with a MagSafe sticker. So if you don't have an Apple device, you can go ahead and get that sticker and put it on another device. And they have it attached to the Steam Deck while plugged in there. And typically with like an external device, if it's attached to the Steam Deck only has one USB-C. You'll have to unplug it and then plug the charger in if you want to charge it. Well, because this has power pass through, you can just plug that into the SSD enclosure and it will charge your Steam Deck, which I think is pretty awesome. It's really, really cool looking, and it brings a lot of possibilities. For example, if you want to install Windows onto your Steam Deck, you can literally just attach this to the back of your Steam Deck. It's MagSafe, so you just plug that in onto the back of it and then run Windows directly off of that SSD. And because it's a magnet, you can just detach it and then put it in its case when you're done. I think it's really really cool, and of course it's cross compatible, so it's any device, not just when not just Steam Deck or iPhone. It could be Android, PC, Mac, ROG Ally, anything that has USB C. And like I said, it comes with that sticker there. But I don't know. What do you think about that? About any of these, fan?
It's gonna come down to like how it's implemented and
Mm-hmm.
how seamless it's gonna run, because if it's not gonna be like easily plug and play,
Mm-hmm.
um, I feel like it's gonna like get be more annoying than anything if they can't get that like user interface, or the way it operates, like
Mm-hmm.
just you know like if someone can just pick it up and know exactly what to do without having to like go
Yeah.
to a YouTube video or read a manual and figure it out.
Yeah.
It's really going to come down to that, because like I can't even imagine how it would connect,
Yeah.
like other than like the cable that's sticking in. So like, is there like a button that I'm at to press and hold down to like decide which system I'm booting into? Like they don't really give you a lot of information on how it
Yeah.
works, right? Other than what it can do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's just a normal like SSD enclosure, right? So everything else on the end will the device will be in charge of. So in terms of
Yeah,
Steam
but it
Deck,
says like it can run Windows off of it.
yeah,
That's what it
correct.
says. So
Yeah.
like, how is how is that going to work with the Steam Deck in terms
Hmm.
of like knowing which hard drive I'm going to boot from, right? Is there a
Yeah.
simple button that is just going to say like every time I turn on my Steam Deck with this thing connected, it'll always boot to Windows?
Yeah.
Or like that's what I'm saying. Like it's all going to come down to like execution and how
Yeah.
it's going to run.
Yeah. I think when it comes to that, I don't know. I haven't installed Windows yet, but I believe if you want to run Windows, you have to manually like press and hold and go to like the recovery menu and then boot from a
Hmm.
drive. Um, by default, it will always boot you into SteamOS. But I could be wrong. I haven't tried doing the Windows thing on Steam Deck yet. I'm gonna buy a bigger micro SD card and try it out with
Yeah, that's
that.
what I'm wondering. Like again, that's what I'm saying. Like it's all going to come down to like
Hmm.
how it actually starts and boots up and gets goes into the OS.
Yeah, I do want to say there's a fun fact here. They put a little like I don't want to call it a graph, but they have this cool thing here. It says retro gaming at a glance, and I guess it gives you the amount of games that came out on those consoles and how much storage they take up. So hear this out, and I don't know how accurate this is. I would assume they did research and it's pretty accurate, but I don't know. But let's start off with what they show off here. So starting with the Dreamcast, 248 games. That's a total of 600 gigabytes. The Game Boy, 585 games. It's a total of 108 megabytes. Looks like an arcade cabinet. I'm not sure if there's any main one or if it has a specific name, but it says 10,731 games for a total of 218 gigabytes. The Wii, 1,262 games for a total of 5.9 terabytes. PlayStation 1, 1,278 games for 455 gigabytes. The NES, 1,003 games for a total of 259 megabytes. The, what is this? Is that a Sega Saturn? I think. It's 143 games for 2.32 gigabytes. Then you have the PS3, which is 9.6. I'm sorry, 1,441 games for 9.6 terabytes. I think it's the Atari for 286 games for 73 megabytes. PS2, 1,850 games for 2.5 terabytes. The GBA, 1,070 games for 8.22 gigabytes. Game Boy Color, 544 games for 682 megabytes. The Sega Genesis, 816 games for 1.01 gigabytes. The SNES, 821 games for a total of 1.07 gigabytes. The Wii U, 723 games for a total of 1.2 terabytes. The GameCube, 563 games for a total of 700 gigabytes. The OG Xbox has 996 games for 2 terabytes. The Xbox 360, 2,157 games for a total of 12 terabytes. The Game Gear, 235 games for 322 megabytes. And I don't know if this is the CD or if this is the Saturn. I might have gotten them both flip-flopped. Actually, no, I don't think that top one's the Saturn anymore. This is the Saturn. It looks like that's 258 games for 209 gigabytes. I don't know what that top one is. So I'm not sure if you're looking at the same screen that I'm looking at. It's next to the NES, or in between the NES and the PS3. Because that has colorful buttons. That's definitely not a Saturn. Is that like a Neo Geo? Like, was it Neo Geo? Was it a console game? I thought it was portable. What's up, Geek Show?
No, the
Welcome to
Neo
the
Geo
podcast.
had a system. I think it was. Yeah, that's a Neo Geo.
It's a Neo Geo?
Yeah,
Okay.
the 4 color buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Neo Geo.
Okay, that's what I figured. So the Neo Geo was 143 games at 2.32 gigabytes. That wasn't the Saturn. They look
I just have
similar.
to say the Xbox, original Xbox,
Yeah.
the amount of games, how much storage it takes is atrocious.
Yeah.
That just means their games were not like compressed or optimized or something. They
Mhm.
probably just had too much data dumped on there.
Yeah.
Because the PS2 has like almost double, and it's only 2.5 terabytes. So it's
Yeah.
only like 500 gigs more for double the amount of games. So that just goes to show Xbox was just not using their storage right or something, or their games are just not were too bloated. Their coding for the games are just too bloated.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I saw that. It's like, wait, 2 terabytes for the OG Xbox.
For less than 1,000, yeah, for the OG Xbox. That's just
Yeah.
insane.
And it's like, yeah, it has 1,850 games on PS2 for 2.5. Yeah, that's definitely definitely something wrong with that there. And it's not like the games, I would say, look better than PS2 games. Like maybe they did. A lot of them did, but still, like they definitely shouldn't be that big of a difference in size. That's interesting there.
Because they're both using DVDs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're both using
were
DVDs.
they? Was
Yeah.
that Xbox was using DVDs?
Xbox was
Okay.
using DVDs. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was the Xbox 360 that was using HD DVDs.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Yeah, he's right.
They went back to regular DVDs. Yeah. So, what's up, Ash? Welcome in.
Yep. Sorry for my tardiness, but
No, you're
I'm
good.
here.
You're good. You're good. We had a mishap. I was sharing my screen earlier, and we got encoding overload for some reason this time. And
I did see and hear that because I was listening in while I was trying to head back home, and you kept cutting in and out, unfortunately. So
yeah. So luckily, yeah, that's done. But yeah, so all the Kickstarter is up right now on Genki things or human things, whichever one they go by. I'm not exactly sure which, but it looks like the Kickstarter starts. Tooling and production starts in September. QA and certifications will be in October, and then warehousing and shipping will start in November, and then by December they're expecting everything to get delivered. I don't know. I think these products look pretty cool, honestly. Like the SSD enclosure, the save point, I think is pretty cool. So you can just buy the enclosure by itself. And let me see if I can find the prices. I might have passed the
I
prices
think it
for
was only
that.
like $80, something like that.
No,
Or
it's 40 bucks
or
for the enclosure itself. And then
okay,
if you want to buy it with an SSD already in it, it's 512 gigabytes is $60. For 1 terabyte it's $100, and for 2 terabytes it's $160. Um,
Sheesh.
I don't know if it's the 40 bucks plus the 60, right? Or if it's like $60 gets you both the. I assume they're separate because there's no way they're gonna give you for a total of $60. They're gonna give you the enclosure and a
yeah,
512 gigabyte SSD.
I doubt
Um,
that.
yeah,
Because enclosures are like 20-30 bucks by themselves already. So
exactly. Yeah, so it's gotta be both there. But yeah, if you're interested in any of those, definitely go ahead to their website and go ahead and look at it. I think they're all neat products, and hopefully it's not just a Kickstarter only. And then if you miss out, you miss out. Hopefully everything else comes like after the fact, so that people who don't get to Kickstarter it, they can go ahead and get one for themselves.
no, I checked the 8-bit dude. That the revision does have Hall effects, so it looks like it's just a colorware swap.
Okay, cool. And like price point is pretty much the same because I think they're what $45 for the SN30 Pro, right?
Mm, I had it up.
Yeah, because this is $42. So you're basically just buying the color, which I mean to me, I don't mind. I don't see anything else. Like
Yeah, it's
like
like $30.
yeah.
30-40 bucks. Oh, that's wired only.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's $45 by itself
Okay.
with the Hall effect and wireless and Bluetooth.
Okay.
So
So,
yeah, the prop cost isn't too crazy. It's only like $5 more before the Kickstarter.
so it's only a little bit, yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit cheaper. Well, but yeah, you're saying before the Kickstarter. I guess like
yeah.
the Kickstarter itself will be a tad bit cheaper, which is not bad. Yeah, but speaking of Genki, there's another Genki that made an announcement, and not this Genki. This Genki is a developer, and they announced a brand new Tokyo Extreme Racer game. I'm pretty sure we don't have any racing game fans here, because that's not something that a lot of us really talk about outside of like Mario Kart and stuff like that. But Tokyo Extreme Racer was actually a game that I really liked. Just to kind of get a glimpse of what my life was like. I am not a big like car racing fan. I can care less, but I did get into like Gran Turismo things like that, mainly because my dad is huge into cars. He taught or tried to teach me at least about cars, and how the way they work and stuff like that. And he got me into like a lot of car things, including Initial D, because he knew I liked anime and he liked cars. And when he found out about Initial D, he's like, "Hey, this is a good father son bonding moment. You like anime, I like cars. We can both watch this together." So we would watch Initial D together. But there was a game that he really liked called Tokyo Extreme Racer, and at the time it was exclusive on Dreamcast. And so we had a Dreamcast, and one of the main reasons he wanted the Dreamcast was for Shenmue and Tokyo Extreme Racer. And basically, what's cool about Tokyo Extreme Racer compared to other games, it kind of did kind of what Midnight Club tried to do, except better in my opinion. Where Midnight Club was a lot of like street racing, right? You were in the street and you were racing. This
Okay.
was a little bit more realistic per se. So you get your car and then you drive, and then you're driving all over Tokyo. So you take like the highway or on the regular streets or so forth, and you can find people you can race. And the way you would go ahead and race them, you would kind of do like your high beams or your what do they call it, like you go and like press it real quick to like put
Yeah,
up your high
you
beams
blink,
and then shut it
you
off.
blink, blink.
Yeah, exactly. You'll do that, and then they'll race you or not. And then of course, once you race, you got to start an ending point, and it's exactly how like people would race. I don't know how they do it now, but like back then, if they were street racing, that's usually what they would do. They would get behind you, they would blink, and that means they wanted to race you. And then you can choose to accept or not. And then basically you will go to from start to like a different area and just race off. But it was pretty cool, pretty unique at the time, and there was nothing like it because everything else that was coming out at that time was like Gran Turismo, which you're on the track. Um, what else would have been coming out? I don't think there was anything else outside of that. Everything was like on a track. You were on a track, you have a guided track, and that's it. This was like in the street, which was pretty cool. I believe it predates also Midnight Club, the first one. I might be wrong, but it might predate the very first Midnight Club. But anyways, this developer Genki, which I know nothing about, is coming out with Tokyo Extreme Racer, and I'm excited. I'm pretty excited for this. Have any of you guys played Tokyo Extreme Racer at all?
No, but I've played so many other street racing games growing up,
Mm-hmm.
including Need for Speed, Midnight Club, all those others, Ridge Racer,
Yeah.
freaking what's that one? Wipeout, I think it was called. So it was I love racing games that feel a little bit more arcadey and stuff because
Yeah.
that makes that's what makes it more fun. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
really a huge fan of like the simulator like racing games like Gran Turismo. Would you say Forza simulated in a
It
sense?
definitely is. Yeah, they try to
Yeah.
make it
Okay.
more realistic. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know any other games that does a simulated type of thing, but if I have somebody that wants me to try it out, I would. But like for me, I'm more geared towards more arcadey like racing games, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. So,
Like Mario Kart.
but hmm?
Like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's super arcadey. Like I'm talking about like normal arcade racing games, like
Yeah.
Need for Speed, for example, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Cruising USA.
Yeah, Cruising USA was fun. Back in the days, go grocery shopping with my mom, and then that would be the thing. The end of the grocery trip was play Cruising USA, or what's the
Mhm.
other one? Daytona
Daytona,
500 or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah,
Daytona 500, yeah.
yeah. I hated the Daytona one though because I hated NASCAR. I just didn't care. No offense to anybody who loves NASCAR. I just hated NASCAR. I would prefer Cruising USA, and they had all the crazy like cars. You can get like somebody on a bike or like all these other weird things on there. That was pretty fun. Oh man, those were the days. Those were the days. But yeah, if you're excited about Tokyo Extreme Racer, definitely check it out. It is already a wishlist on Steam. There is no console, or rather, just don't release date at all, and we don't even know if it's coming to consoles. But so far, we do know it's coming to Steam, and hopefully, they can do it justice because Tokyo Extreme Racer was very, very cool. Of course, there is no games on there, but no games available now. Like there's no brand new ones, but you can definitely play it through emulation on Dreamcast. Yeah, Tokyo Extreme Racer 1 and 2. And then PS2 had Tokyo Extreme Racer, what was it? Tokyo Extreme Racer something. And then there was Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift as well. There was like 2 or 3 they came out on PS2 as well. So definitely take a look at those. All right. And moving on to the next announcement that came out. This was actually a huge surprise to me. Retroid announced a Retroid Pocket Mini, and we know nothing about it. Actually, we do know some things, right? It's going to have a 3.7-inch display. It's going to have an OLED display. And there's RGB in the thumbsticks. That's pretty much all we know about this device. But the thing that sticks out to it from it specifically is the OLED display. Because typically when it comes to Retroid consoles, they all use like LCDs. I don't know one that has an OLED display. Correct me if I'm wrong, fan, but I don't think any of the major like retro consoles or retro emulator consoles have an OLED display. Like, I don't know one. Oh, the Ambernick, right? The
Ambernick.
Yes.
Yeah, the 5 something, the big one.
Yeah, so that is the only one then I can think of. And then you have the Ein Odin Mini that has the mini LED display.
Yeah.
But this
yeah, that's mini LED.
Yeah.
Or micro LED or whatever it is.
Or yeah, one of the two, mini or micro LED, whichever the two it is. But yeah, this is gonna have an OLED display, and that's all we know. So we don't know like power, performance, or anything like that. And this is very interesting because at 3.7-inch and it's a 4x3 display with an OLED, I don't know. It has potential to just outdo the RG Cube. Me and Fan both have the RG Cube. I'm having issues with my RG Cube in terms of the bottom of my screen does not it's not registering touch at all. So if I swipe up, it does not work. I have to use the
No.
buttons to go home. I can't even exit emulators because some emulators don't allow for control inputs in the main menu. So like if there's anything at the bottom there, I cannot touch it at all. It won't allow me to do anything, which is weird. I don't know. It just randomly happened. I just turned
That's
it on
weird.
one day and it wasn't working. Yeah,
I
I don't
haven't
know
had
what it
any
is.
issues with mine at all yet.
Yeah, I got to
It still
contact.
runs perfectly.
Yeah, I got to
I
contact
will have to
them.
say I prefer to play. I have a 3DS, which I
Mhm.
was playing some 2DS and 3DS games on it,
Yeah,
and I do have to say I prefer to play it on the RG Cube, even though
yeah,
it's a smaller screen.
yeah.
The gameplay is just smoother.
Hmm. Interesting.
Okay.
Because
Like
I was playing
smoother
Dragon Quest. Which one's on the DS? 5?
the regular
Dragon Quest
DS?
5?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's 5.
yeah. I was playing Dragon Quest 5 on that, and it was running. The game was running at 60 on the Cube.
Really? And
Yeah,
DS, what does it run at?
it did not look that like it was running 60.
I didn't even know there was a higher frame rate to achieve. That's interesting.
I don't know.
I thought it
They
would be
could just
capped
use it
at
as a
30
game
or
relator.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be that honestly, or if anything,
I didn't. I mean,
I
higher
could.
quality resolution screen, so it looks sharper.
Which emulator was it? Out of curiosity.
I did it. I ran both. I did Lime, or what was it? Drastic and
Drastic.
Melon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if one of them had an interpolated frame feature in there somewhere, because
Okay.
to me, it's a bit weird that like there was already like more headroom to reach for a DS game, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting to me. So
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that's interesting to me. Um, the RG Cube, I like it a lot. Like I play like my PS2 games on it. Some of them, the ones that can run, like Yu-Gi-Oh. What I keep confusing all of them. Duelist of the Roses. There we go. Like that one's on PS2, and I've been playing that one, and that one's good. And I forgot how hard that game was. I think it's because I'm playing as Kaiba. In every Yu-Gi-Oh game that came out, they gave you the choice of playing as Yugi and Kaiba. Just a heads up, if you play as Kaiba, Kaiba is hard mode. You have to play against all the tougher opponents, and yeah, it's just hard. Where if you play as Yugi, or at least if you join Yugi's side, it's much more forgiving. Like he has stronger monsters. His team is just stronger. Yeah. But anyways,
to be expected.
yeah, exactly. Uh, but I've been playing that. What else I was playing? Uh, there's a couple of other stuff. Mother 3, I've been playing that, of course, on there, and just a lot more. And I really do enjoy it. It's just that's the small issue. And I know I'm a contact Nick, and I know the answer. They're gonna send me a screen replacement, and I'm gonna have to do the screen replacement myself, and I do not want to do that. I just have a thing that like if I don't have to, I don't want to have to go ahead and open up my devices. Like my PC, like I'm gonna dread the day that I have to go ahead and swap out my CPU, which is gonna be very very soon. GPU I don't mind because GPU is very easy. It's just remove it, plug it in. But just like the CPU is a little bit more extra work you got to do, and I just do not want to do that. Um, so this has potential to kind of be better than the RG Cube. It being 4x3 would allow for 4x3 games just to be better. In the games that are not 4x3, you can get a little small overlay, such as like SP, Game Boy SP, Game Boy Color, and stuff like that. But if it has the performance to kind of do like GameCube and PS2 and do it very well when you compare it to the RG Cube, then yeah, it has way good potential. Not only that, I do feel that this is going to be under $200 because we have the Retroid Pocket 4 that's already $200. I don't think they want to put this more expensive than the Retroid Pocket 4 Pro specifically. And they probably want it cheaper than the Retroid Pocket 4. Or if not the same price. So yeah, this has potential. We'll have to wait and see how this goes, but it looks cool. You can see the renders if you go to like Gold Retroid's Twitter page. You can see it. They don't have it on their website at all, but you can see it on their Twitter page. And I think Retro Dodo is how you pronounce their webpage. They also have like it on. They have like an article on it on their webpage as well, so you can take a look at it. They showed the black render, and then they show a white with like red buttons render. And I do hope there's like an I'm sorry, Super Famicom version. So yeah, stay tuned on that. I will be picking that up and reviewing it because I know it's gonna have potential. Unless it's like something that sucks. It has like some weak chip and it can't do like much. It can only do like SNES and something and stuff like that. Then I probably will pass. Um, yeah. You guys thinking of picking this up or nah? Don't care.
I mean, it's going to come down to like the specs and what games it can handle. I mean, it looks like, if anything, it's probably pushing out the Pocket 2S that they still sell,
Mm-hmm.
like on their website,
Yeah.
because they still sell the Retroid Pocket 2S. And if it's replacing, let's say, that version, and it's just going to be, you know, 150 but similar specs,
Yeah.
it might be okay.
Hmm.
I was actually looking at getting the 2S at some point, just because it's before I got the Cube. I was looking to get the 2S
But what's the
just because it was
specs on that?
smaller and
Because
stuff
with
like
the
that.
2S, you can't do PS2, right?
Some, not all.
Not all.
It definitely is a slightly less powerful than the Pocket 4,
Mm-hmm.
because the Pocket 4 has like the Dimensity like 900 and 1100 like
Yeah.
chips on it.
Yeah, I figure like it's gotta. I think it has to be better than the 2S. And it's weird because like the Retroid Pocket 4 has the Dimensity 900, where the Pro has the
Or
1100.
yeah,
Um, and I don't know. I feel like for them to compete with the RG Cube, if they're even considered competing, because they could probably not even compete. They're just gonna throw stuff out there and see who buys it.
yeah, that's true.
But I feel like if they were looking at that, if they were, it would have to be stronger than the Dimensity 900, but not as powerful as the Pro. It gets put like in a tough spot because you don't want it to like kind of you don't want it to get rid of the Retro Pocket 4, even though there is some charm to the 4 Pro because it has a 16 by 9 display. So if you are playing PS2 games, Wii games that support widescreen, then yeah, that this might cater to you.
Isn't it 16 by 10?
Is it 16 by 10?
Because it's a weird resolution screen. It's 750 by 1334.
Oh, you might be
All right.
right. Yeah.
Oof, that's gonna be weird.
Yes, that is a 16 by 10. I think you are right.
Which playing like DS games on those with the side by side would be kind of
Perfect.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say. It just says 4.7 inch. But yeah, I think you're right. It is 16 by 10. So then, never mind then. Yeah, because it's probably like a portrait display just rotated sideways, more than likely. That's usually what they do with these Android handhelds. Let me see if it says on here. In this small print, 4.7. No, it doesn't say. HDMI, 720p. Nope. Doesn't say anything here. Oh well. It looks interesting. Keep an eye out. We'll definitely discuss it more as it comes out. And like I said, I will have a review on my channel, regardless if I get one or not. I reached out to Retroid, so we'll see what they say. But yeah, I will be picking up one. I also will be picking up the Aya Neo Micro, which we talked about a little bit ago. And that one, there's some reviews already coming out, and that one's pretty powerful. They can play PS2 and GameCube. Very small screen, but it can do it for what 180. All right, moving on to the next thing. We're going to talk about Blackmyth Wukong. So Blackmyth Wukong came out, what was it, like last Friday, right?
Something like that, I think. Or yeah, sometime last week.
Was it? It was last week, right? I'm trying to remember because my weeks are blending into me.
It
That
came out the 19th, so Monday this
oh,
week.
Monday, so it was this week.
Oh,
Okay.
damn.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was gonna say I felt like it was last week. So yeah, it came out this week, and reviews are out, and a lot of reviews are giving it praise. The biggest negative has seemed to be like performance is not all there, but when it comes to gameplay and everything else, it seems to be good. And of course, there's controversy which we won't discuss because that whole, it's not diverse enough, and stuff like that, which I have my own thoughts on that, but we're not going to discuss that. and it looks to be good. I watched the opening, so I don't have the game. Bryant's the only one that has the game. It kind of sucks that he's not here today to discuss it, but he's out having fun. So hopefully we can get his thoughts from that next week when he's on the podcast. And I know he said he's been enjoying it, and somebody else who I've talked to who also has the game says they're really enjoying it. I took a look at the opening scene, and the opening scene looks amazing. Honestly, the whole fighting sequence and everything looks very, very cool. And I don't know much about Journey of the West because I've never read it. I still haven't read it. The only thing I know about it is how it's Dragon Ball took inspiration from it, right? So there's a lot of like similarities there, and kind of like what the whole thing was of who Wukong was and who he was fighting, and it looks like it opens up where I don't know if it's a spoiler. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I'm not gonna say it just in case if it's considered a spoiler for people. But basically, it opens up pretty cool with a cool action sequence, and I'm very surprised at what how it is. Have you guys looked at anything of the game at all?
I did. I did. I had a little bit of a background knowledge of Journey to the West before
Mm-hmm.
looking at the game. From what it literally looks like, it's literally at the end of the game, but Wukong had to start back all over again to get his powers back and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, makes sense. So but yeah, the only reason why I haven't even touched the game yet, mainly because I'm just trying to catch up with my backlog right now and stuff. I'm gonna eventually play it and catch up to it, but not right now. It's
Things.
gonna get even worse because by like in 2 months there's gonna be like a whole lot of other games coming out. Like if you want to count Mario Luigi Brothership, and then there's some other games that are coming out, but I just forgot.
Dragon Quest 3.
Yeah, that. Well, I already played Dragon Quest 3, so I ain't gonna worry too much about that one. So, but like, still gonna pick it up. Probably gonna buy it, put it on my shelf, and then I'll get to it when I get to it. But,
Sparking Zero.
hmm?
Sparking Zero.
Parking Zero.
I can easily pick that up. At least it's not a freaking story mode. Like it's a fighting game, and
Yeah.
you can easily pick that up and play with other people. So I might pick that up day one. Depends, but. Yeah, I just picked up freaking Hi-Fi Rush, so I'm
Yeah.
starting that game finally and trying to finish that, if anything. So, but yeah, eventually I'll play Blackmyth Wukong. Game looks really fun. Has a lot of heart into it, so I'm gonna eventually touch it.
What about you, Fan?
Yeah, I'll definitely pick it up. I mean, I grew up on that whole Journey to the West stuff, of TV dramas and whatnot. So I'm real familiar with the myth, but depending on like how they do the story, I'm not like gonna judge them too hard on it.
Yeah, I
You
I
know?
don't. I didn't want to say this is spoilers, and I'm still not gonna say, but I don't think it follows the story. Like,
No, it's
it,
I think it just takes inspiration off of it.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
That's the one thing, and that's fine, because they tailor it or design it to where you think you're playing Sun
Kong, yeah,
Wukong, but you don't know for sure if you're the main one, because the whole thing with his abilities is like
he can
he's got
copy
so many
himself.
thousands of different skills. Like he
Yeah,
can
he literally has 5 immortalities at
yeah,
once,
he
which is
can make
crazy.
clones of himself, and each of
Yeah.
them can be independent on their own. And a theory is either you're playing the main or you're playing a clone trying to rescue the main. Like so, it's
Yeah.
like I haven't played the game, but that's like just when people saw the trailer, those were the theories that were like being thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the opening sequence, I feel to me like answers it, but I could be wrong because maybe at the end there's something else that happens. But like I said, once I watched that opening
Yeah.
sequence, I was like, oh wow,
And
like I
for all
wasn't
we know, you
expecting
could
that.
also be playing an impersonator,
Yeah.
someone who thinks he's the Monkey King, but he's not.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Just a normal
That's
person.
a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah,
There are a lot of those too.
it looks good, and apparently it's pretty long too. It's pretty lengthy for what I thought it was. As for an action game, I'll say it's less Souls like and more just actiony.
Yeah,
Even though
from what it
has,
looks like, yeah.
Yeah, even though it might have like some type of difficulty curve. I guess think like Ninja Gaiden. Something Ninja Gaiden where it's difficult but fast paced action. So it's a lot like Ninja Gaiden, but it's long. And usually, a game like Ninja Gaiden is only like what 10, 20 hours. right? And this game's supposed to be longer than like 40 hours or so, which is pretty lengthy. So I'm
Is there
definitely
Souls
interested.
like aspects to it?
Well, I mean, you could technically say Ninja Gaiden has Souls like I don't know like what I don't think there's anything considered Souls like in there except for like the combat design. I think that's what a lot of reviews were
I
saying.
feel like
Oh.
it has
My
Souls like
Souls like is like when
I feel like it
you.
has Souls like aesthetics, and that's pretty much it. When
Yeah.
it
What I
comes
mean
to like
Souls like is
difficulty,
like when you
Rest at a bonfire
like
and stuff like
rest
that.
and
yeah,
like yeah,
Yeah.
and like all the enemies reset and then you have to like go through it
Yeah.
all over again.
Yeah, I don't
Because
know. I don't know if they said that.
Jedi Fallen
Yeah.
Order, was
Had
it
that.
Fallen Order? Had
Yeah.
that. And that game was actually pretty semi fast paced too.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
I mean
Kinda.
the reason why I say Souls like aesthetics mainly because when people first saw the trailer, they all immediately say it looks like a Souls game,
Yeah.
right? So when they actually sat down and play, they realize, oh, the game is not as hard like
Yeah.
Elden Ring or Dark Souls or Bloodborne and so on and so forth. So and
Some people
for
were saying it's harder.
harder. Here's the thing:
Yeah.
I would know for a fact if the game was hard if I see so many crybabies on Twitter complaining about how hard the game is.
Yeah.
So based going off of that, I'm pretty sure that the game is not
Oh,
as hard
man.
as people are making out to be.
Yeah, I know one
When I-
reviewer said
when I-
they struggle more with a boss in Wukong than whatever the boss from the Elden Ring DLC is. Like that's what one person said.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's percent. I definitely want to pick it up. And apparently, I was looking at Reddit. Apparently, it runs great on Steam Deck. It runs at a stable 30. So if it can run at a stable 30 and I can play it on my Steam Deck, I'm all
Yeah,
in.
that's impressive. I wonder what settings you will need to use, if anything.
Yeah. I don't even know. Is this Steam Deck verified? Like I'm actually curious. I'm gonna open up my Steam right now.
I mean, at this point, if a lot of people were confirming that you can run the game at a solid 30, I would assume so.
Well, just
Not
because it's
necessarily.
runs
Yeah.
Cloud 30 doesn't necessarily mean it's Steam Deck certified.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I
But
said
I'm pretty sure they probably like.
if it's playable at that point, then yeah. Like
I don't even know where you find it on their page.
Well, I got my Steam Deck right here, so I'm just gonna search for the game.
Okay. Yeah, because on here I thought there was like an icon or something on here, but it doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't say at all.
All right. It doesn't say.
It doesn't say at all.
Yeah, I'm actually on my Steam Deck, and it doesn't actually say if it's. Because normally it'd be like in the game details,
Yeah. And there's nothing.
or like the tags or anything.
well, right now, if you look through Proton DP, it's actually unknown for deck verify status.
Yeah.
However, it is in gold standard when it comes to how well you can play this game. And when is typically in gold standard, you probably have to make a couple of tweaks first before it actually runs really
Yeah.
well in the system. But that's pretty much it. If I've always go off of Proton DDP when it comes to like how well we'll run off the Steam Deck
Yeah.
and stuff, because before Steam Deck was relevant, Proton has been the thing. So people with Linux computers will just go through this and see what version of Proton that people were using to get this game running. So
Yeah.
It just says compatibility unknown at the moment, so
Huh.
they probably haven't got it. The sticker from Steam.
Yeah. Well, even if
Again, even if it's not Steam Deck certified or
yeah.
verified, doesn't mean it can't play on it. There's tons of
Correct.
games that are not Steam Deck certified or verified, and it'll still play.
Right. Yeah. No, yeah, people are like I said, people are going through and saying that it works good. So if it works good, then hey, that's good. I'm gonna go
So-
ahead and get it.
somebody said that they were able to get his run at 45 FPS with FSR. I guess performance or balance or something like that. And then they weren't using frame generation on this one. Yeah, the FSR at sharpness 3, and then they didn't do no manual GPU clock off of this one. Everything pretty much looked good for him pretty much at that point. And the resolution was 1024 by 600. Yeah. So some people have some good success with it. So
Yeah. Well, I definitely will test it out because if I get it, that's the only way that I'm gonna play it because that's where the majority of the way I do my gaming is on my Steam Deck. If it doesn't run on the Steam Deck, then I kind of don't play the game. That's where I'm at. Like my PS5, I don't really touch anymore. It's just been sitting here, and I'm keeping it, in case something gets announced as PS5 exclusive that I want to play. But at this point, it's like, what is there going to be announced, for the PS5 that it's only going to be a PS5 because everything is eventually going to come to PC, and I probably have the patience right now to go ahead and wait, until it comes out on
I
PC.
mean, the only advantage you have for on PS5 is that you know that the game is going to run pretty smooth.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be stable, at least more
Yeah.
stable than usually what PC is. But speaking of games that came to PS5 exclusively and is now coming to PC, Final Fantasy XVI releases on PC in September 17th to be exact, and there is a demo available right now. I tried the demo. I specifically tried it on the Steam Deck because of this, because I have not finished 16. Part of it was that I kind of fallen out. I got bored of 16. I don't think it's the game that I wanted to be, and we've talked about it plenty of times on the podcast, so I'm not gonna go into detail on that. But I really wanted to try it on Steam Deck because if I'm going to give this another attempt, another go, I'm going to do it on the platform that I'm playing all the time, and that is the Steam Deck. So I tested it on the Steam Deck, and here I will discuss how I ran on the Steam Deck right now for everybody who wants to know. And I will say this. At first, I was like, and I mentioned this yesterday during my stream, or maybe it was Thursday when we were talking. One of those. It might have been yesterday during my stream or the day before. But anyways, I played around with it, messed around with it, see how I went. And starting off, there's something weird. So the cutscenes, like, are pre-rendered but in-game render. Like, I don't. They're like pre-rendered but in-game renders. If that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
That's
Because
weird.
they run when the cutscenes run, the character models look totally different than when you're controlling the character. For starters, FSR does not work in the cutscenes. The minute a cutscene plays, it is just the normal model. So whatever resolution you have is going to play at that. So during cutscenes, you see these dips where it goes to like 19 frames per second. It goes very low. And it'll go back to like 30. So it's anywhere from 19 to 30. Sometimes it's saying like 20, but you can clearly see that the game's running at 30. And then, of course, there's some cutscenes that are just like not, I guess you could say pre-rendered cutscenes where there's just some videos, like just playing like an MP4 there. When those cutscenes come in, of course, it just stays at a steady 30. So that's one thing I've been noticing about the game. But once I got out of like the castle area, which is the beginning area, like the beginning area with the castle and stuff like that, it was going on and off. It went from 30 to about like 25 ish, back to 30. So it wasn't too bad. And this was all using FSR 3.0. I had frame generation turned on because frame generation actually it kind of made my frame rate worse. Even though it's supposed to be a lot better, it is not. It tanked my frame rate to like 18 frames per second, so I had to shut it off. But once I get out of that and you go to, I believe it's called Stillwater, which is like the swampy area where you fight the Malboro, it ran at a solid 30, like the whole time. I actually recorded a gameplay footage that I forgot to put on my PC because I actually wanted to showcase the video on here while I'm talking about it. But I recorded gameplay footage, and I'm probably going to upload it as a YouTube short so people can see. It ran at a solid 30, had no issues, no frame drops whatsoever. Did the Malboro fight, and I did have like a small weird like stutter, like literally just froze for maybe 5 seconds, and then it like kind of fixed itself. But outside of that, yeah, it ran at a solid 30. I'm now in the spot where you're playing as Joshua, and it's right where they're going ahead and attack the little like stronghold they're at. And one thing I've noticed, wherever there's fire, the game tanks in frame rate because you have the little like fire magic ball thing that Joshua does that acts like a lantern, and that fireball is tanking the frame rate. It's still sitting at 30, and it goes down to like 28, but then you get next to another fire source, and that's it. It goes from that all the way down to like 21, but it's still not that bad. I don't think it's greatly optimized, and I think Valve can probably either optimize Proton or do some type of Steam Deck update that can optimize for this game to have it run at a solid 30. And it's very doable. Again, with FSR 3.0, it's running solid. I'm sure an ROG Ally or an ROG Ally X, well, I say I'm sure it would run better, but we have seen cases where the Steam Deck runs better than those machines. So, yeah. Have you tried the demo yet, fam?
I haven't, not on PC. The only time I ever touched that game was the demo for the PS5, and that
Oh.
was the only time I've ever touched that game.
You should test it out on the ROG Ally because I would like to know how
Ah.
it runs on there compared to the Steam
Yeah, I can
Deck.
definitely do that. I'd like to see how it runs.
Yeah, because technically speaking, you would assume the ROG Ally is more powerful. It should be able to run it. Even if it's not 1080p, if you were to lower your settings to like 720p, you would assume it could run it, better than the Steam Deck at the same resolution. So, I'm very curious to see. And plus, ROG Ally fully supports frame generation. So like, it should be better overall. So I'm very curious to see what results you get with that. And yeah, next week's podcast we can hear your thoughts on how that went. So
I
that
do have to say,
Mhm.
since we're talking about Final Fantasy,
Mhm.
Uniqlo has a line of Final Fantasy shirts, which
Yes.
a lot of them are on sale for like $6 right now.
Hey, all of them? Oh man, gonna have to make me get
I
sidetracked
bought
again.
4.
You did? Which ones did you
Yeah.
get?
So I bought the pink one with the mogul on the front. I bought the black one with the hero is defeated on the back, but then it's got the boss. I think it's from Final Fantasy VI on the front. And then I got the white one with the hero of light on the front. Or Warriors of Light.
We're like,
And
okay,
then
I
I got
see.
the white one with Celeste on the back. And on the front, on the pocket, it's got her and the Moogle.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any of those. So those must be like sold
Yeah, you
out.
got to go to Uniqlo, and then you got to go to you got to search, and then go to UT, and then go down to Final Fantasy.
Yeah, the only ones I see here. Oh wait, hold on. Is there another page? No, yeah. See, the one I see
There's
here is there's the one with Terra on the back.
that's one in Terra.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
the one. Oh, okay. You said Celeste.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, I didn't see that one.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, there's
I got
that one. That one looks cool.
Terra,
Yeah, there's
and then the one with the War of Light on the front, and it's white.
yeah, that one's sold out. At least in my size. Yeah, small and extra small still in
Oh, I
stock.
must have grabbed that before it got sold out then.
Yeah, lucky you.
And then
And
I got the black one,
which one? The wolf one or the
not the wolf one, the other one.
the goblin? Is that
Yeah,
a goblin? Yeah, the hero was
and it says
defeated. Yeah, and you said the
defeat.
goblin is
Yeah,
on
and
the
then I
front.
got the pink one with the Moogle on the front, with the giant Moogle on it.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
wanted the white one with the little like pocket, and on the back it has all of the icons,
yeah.
but that one got sold out, or summons or whatever on the back.
There's like the Phoenix pin or something like
Yeah,
that on there. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that one looks like it's sold out. Yeah, of course, that's the one everybody would get. Yeah, I don't know
yeah, with
why
the
I
8
didn't get. I think
icons. Yeah,
yeah, I think the only one I really liked was the Terra one. Yeah, because all the other ones, what I really liked is the last Final Fantasy collaboration they had, which was pretty cool. They had Final Fantasy 1 through 16, or maybe it was 15, I don't know. But like they had a shirt for each game, and those were really cool. Like the Final Fantasy 8 one was cool, 6 was cool. All of them were cool, and they I really wanted those. I never got them, and I'm kind of upset. Hopefully they come back. Yeah, right now they have
I mean,
the One Piece stuff going on, which I do want to get at least one of those. Got some cool One Piece shirts there. But yeah, is Ash still on? He's not showing. He's on.
it didn't show that he's on.
Okay, so
I
it looks
mean,
like
it
Ash probably
shows
stuck
that
with.
he's maybe he got kicked off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna hear his thoughts because I know he was playing on PC. I saw that he's been playing the demo on PC, so I guess we'll have to go back to him. Yeah, if you're into Final Fantasy, Uniqlo's got some good deals on. They got One Piece shirts going on. They had some Zelda shirts. They had a Capcom collection. I hope they bring back the Final Fantasy anniversary shirts because those were cool. I think the Final Fantasy VII one was like Cloud looking at Midgard. Um, they had like a bunch of cool designs. The Final Fantasy 12 one was the judges like walking on the front, which was pretty cool. Uh, what was I don't remember some of the other ones, but there were some cool designs there. The Final Fantasy 4 one was cool. They had a lot of cool shirts. There they had Metal Gear Solid at one point.
Yep.
Did you get any of the Metal Gear Solid ones?
Yeah, I got remember I got the one where
Oh
it's
yeah, Big Boss on it, right? Like the white one.
where it's got, well no, I got the one where they're like got the cardboard.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My wife picked up the blue one that has Snake and Raiden on it. It's like the cover of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool too. Yeah, that's Final Fantasy 16. Well, next week we'll go ahead and discuss I guess performance on the ROG Ally since Ash is not here right now to discuss the overall PC gameplay. But I'm excited for that. So September 17th, I'm gonna give it another shot, and I'm sure Valve will do some type of optimization just to get it to work good. They tend to do that because Resident Evil 4, when the demo came out, it did not run good at all on the Steam Deck. But then after like the game came out, they did an update and it made the game run flawlessly. Well, I say flawlessly, but it made it run good. And then they did another update later on that made it even better. You don't believe I'm mentioning Final Fantasy 16? I know. Like I decided I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna play it on my Steam Deck and give it another shot. And knowing me, if Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth comes out on PC, it runs decent on Steam Deck, I will pick it up again and probably play it again. And who knows, I might have a changed opinion on Rebirth as well. So I will give it another shot as well. So let's see, because like I mean to be honest, when it comes to 16, I will be honest. The story started off great. I really like the intro, and I'm replaying the intro, of course, because the demo is the intro, and it's good. Like the intro catches me, like it grabs me. The combat is still kind of meh, right? Like I prefer Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth's combat more to 16. But like my biggest thing is, like I mentioned plenty of times, the highs are high, but the lows are very low when it comes to the story, and it's just like so uneven for me personally. But there's a lot of things I did like about 16. Like I was going back through like my mind palace and remembering stuff. There's a lot of things I really did like about 16 story wise, right? That was pretty cool. And there's a lot of things I did not like. Like I do feel like a lot of the side quests are just not needed because most of the accessories and items you get for them, you don't need. Like you don't need them at all. Yeah, the no party thing too kind of sucks, right? Like it is nice in again Seven Rebirth and Remake. I can switch to Tifa or Yuffie. I can switch to whoever I want, and I can play as them. Or if I want to do something, then I'm like, all right, Cloud's kind of like useless right now. Let me
Yeah.
swap out to somebody else. It gives you that option there. Where here it's like, you're Clive, and that's it. Like you're Clive. Deal with it. You can change your move set by switching your icons, which is kind of cool, I guess, but Dante does that also. He switches his weapons. He has a sword. He has claws. He has a freaking motorcycle that he throws at you and stuff like that. So,
You know what game would work well with the combat style of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake?
what
I actually think Chrono Trigger would work kind of well.
you think so?
Well, because like in Rebirth they have the synergy, like the
Oh yeah, the dual attack.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah.
I can
Like
see
I mean
that.
they could tweak it to like do it how they want. Because I mean technically that's a Square Enix game,
Yeah,
you know.
they could, but I don't know if I would want Chrono Trigger to be an action RPG. Like Chrono Trigger is one
I'm
of
just
those
saying like
games that is
if they did
so
remake it, if they did remake it,
yeah.
I think like that's the one battle system that they've already had that would work with it since they did a lot of like fusion abilities.
I feel like Chrono Trigger is so perfect that it's hard to remake. Like we talk about this a
Mhm.
lot. It's one of those games that I just feel like
Oh,
you're
I mean, I'm not saying
probably
that
better
it
off.
needs one. I'm just saying if they
Yeah,
did do it, like I think they already have somewhat of a battle system that they could make, you know, work for it.
yeah. He said, let me see. Geek Show said, I mean, if you can, that means I guess one day I can give 13 another shot. Yeah, I mean, give it another shot. Like, I try to. Sometimes it's one of those things that you play a game, and at the time you play, you're like, wow, this is not that great. And then you stop, you skip it, you go back to it, and you enjoy it. Final Fantasy VIII is a perfect example. I went to 8, I originally bought it, and then after buying it and playing through it, I'm like, wow, like, I don't like this game. This game is not Final Fantasy VII. So I returned it and exchanged it for like a different game. I don't know what I got. I think I got Brave Fencer Musashi instead, possibly, or maybe I didn't, because I think Brave Fencer Musashi came with the demo to Final Fantasy VIII. So no, then I don't think I got it. Or maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember. I don't remember which way it went, because I know I got one game because I played the other's demo. I just don't know the order of events when it came to that. But I know I returned and exchanged it to something else. And then finally I went back and replayed Final Fantasy VIII later on. I rebought it and I enjoyed it. The next time I played it, it was fun. Got far further and I appreciated it a lot more. So there are games like that where you play Final Fantasy VII, right? I played that demo. I tell the story all the time. I played the demo in GameStop and I was like, wow, this game is trash. But and to be fair, I was not an RPG fan at all. Like I had not played any turn-based RPG before that point, and I was used to games like Zelda, or any type of action game. That's what I was used to, and then I just wasn't ready for that. And then of course played Breath of Fire 4, got into RPGs, went back to Final Fantasy 7, and enjoyed 7 of course there. So for me, it's not unusual for me to not like a game at first, and then give it a second shot later on if I feel it's worth a second shot. I've tried with some games like Skyrim. I did not like it at first. I did not like it the second time. I did not like it the third time, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the sixth. I think I've tried that game already 7 times. Tried my best to get into it because so many people love it, and it's just not for me. Same thing goes with Fallout. I tried Fallout 4, like 3 times, and I'm just like, yeah, this game is not for me. So, yeah, I'm just not a Bethesda guy. That's it, or a Western RPG guy. Witcher, same thing. Play The Witcher, and then I got bored because if more than anything, I'm messing with my inventory than actually playing the game. All right, let's move on to Gamescom, which is our final topic of the day. Gamescom had some announcements, and first off, Gamescom was boring. Like, I'm sorry to say, like Gamescom was not all that. I had said it, before on the podcast that to me, Gamescom was never a big deal. Like people were saying, "Oh yeah, it's as big as E3." Like maybe as an event, it is, but when it came to announcements and things showing up, it was never like E3. Like I feel like the bulk of information you got of brand new games, of all the I don't know, the best news was always at E3, and then Gamescom was just like, it's just there. You might be able to see more of already announced games, but that's about it. But Gamescom, we did have a opening night live that Jeff Keighley hosted, and it just wasn't that great in my opinion. Couple things that came out: Indiana Jones and a Great Circle. They showed a trailer for that, talked about it, and then they discussed that it is coming to Xbox December 9th, 2024, and in 2025 it is coming to PS5. So yes, this is a game that will be coming to PS5. You do not need an Xbox to play this game, so if you are looking forward to that, just wait because it's coming to PS5. And of course, it'll be on PC day one. So if you have a PC, you're good. You still don't need an Xbox. Star Wars Outlaws, they show some stuff about it. I want to get it because I feel like, I don't know, I might enjoy the game, but we'll wait and see. It's an Ubisoft game, and I gotta wait. They showed the Batman Arkham Shadow, which is the MetaQuest game. They show some of that, which is, I mean, it's a VR game. If you like VR games, cool. What else?
Dude, I couldn't watch
Uh,
the stream.
you couldn't
I
watch
tried.
it. You tried.
I tried.
It was
I mean, it
boring.
was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's very long.
I had to find someone who broke down and just did a 10-20 minute breakdown. It was way too long.
Yeah, and I wouldn't bother watching it, honestly speaking. So they showed a new World of Warcraft I guess expansion. I don't know if this was announced before because I'm not a big WoW person, but they showed some of that. It's available on GeForce Now on Mac and on PC. and it came out. It comes out in 2 days, 26. They did show a new trailer to Sonic and Shadow. They showed like Shadow's abilities, the equivalent. So like Sonic and Sonic Generation has like the Wisp abilities. Shadow has the Doom abilities, so he gets like flight. He has moves similar to what he does in Sonic Frontiers, where like you know how like when he punches, there's like these like I don't know what you want to call it, these beams that come out of him. Shadow has similar things like that. So they did show that off, which looks pretty cool, and just some more gameplay of Shadow. Obsidian is delayed to February 15, 2025. It's not coming out this year like they said it was. And they show some stuff about that. It's capped at 30 FPS. So there's a big commotion about that. Diablo 4 showed some stuff. I think it's like an expansion pass. Civilization 7 showed some stuff for that. It's coming out next year. More Monster Hunter Wilds, which like I already enjoyed it. I don't really need to see more about it, but hey, they showed more of that. New trailer for Sparking Zero, which, you know, again, I don't need to see more of that. It's coming very soon, coming in October, and yeah, it looks cool. Fragpunk, which is a game that I thought was, I believe this was the game that I thought was Fortnite, but it's not. Chatting with, what was it, Starship Troopers, the Starship Troopers. I think there was a game. There's Stalker 2 stuff. Hold on, let me see. I say chatting with. Actually, I think this is a typo because it says that twice. Marvel Rivals. They show off some of that. They confirmed Borderlands 4.
Borderlands 4, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. I already mentioned that.
It showed more Indiana Jones on the Great Golden Circle.
Yeah. And they showed off the secret level, which are animated shows. One of them is going to be about Mega Man. So it's from the creator of Love, Death, and Robots. And they're basically a series of short videos based off of games. There's going to be God of War, Warhammer 40K, and the one that I like was they showed Mega Man. So there is going to be a Mega Man episode, which is kind of cool. Let me see if they have a list of all the games. Oh yeah, so Armored Core, which is going to have Keanu Reeves in it. So Keanu Reeves is going to play a character in there. The Concord, they're going to have one about Concord. Crossfire, which is a tactical shooter. Dungeons and Dragons. Exodus, which I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know what Exodus is. Honor of Kings. I'm not sure what that is either. Oh, it's a mobile game, I guess. Mega Man, of course. New World, which is that Amazon game. The Outer Worlds 2. They're gonna have a short of that. Pac-Man.
Interesting.
Which is interesting. Yeah. What? That's interesting. Okay.
Sifu,
God
I
of
remember
War.
seeing Sifu.
Was there Sifu?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember seeing Sifu in the trailer.
Well,
Alright.
so God of War and Ghost of Tsushima. So they are showing off those too, and they are in the trailer there, which that's gonna be pretty cool. Oh yeah, Sifu. Yeah, there is gonna be a Sifu episode as well.
Which, I mean, Sifu in itself is basically a freaking martial arts movie.
Yeah, exactly. Spelunky, Unreal Tournament, Warhammer 40K. The mystery. Oh, and I guess there's a mystery game they're saying, and it looks like the mystery game it has a guy's face. It looks like he's probably like Asian, and he's like bonding with a machine. It says flowing pink blue energy that's bonding with a machine or another.
Are you guys still talking about the Prime thing that's coming out? The anthology. I can't talk. You know, the video game series.
Yeah, secret level.
Yeah. When I saw the trailer, I thought it looked pretty cool. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess so. They're gonna.
I feel like it's gonna be like how they did with Star Wars Visions with Disney.
Yeah.
Or like the Animatrix.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that happening.
I think the only one. I think the only thing I was excited when they announced it was they're going to talk about Mega Man. I'm like, Mega Man, about time. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's the only that's the only episode I was going to care about.
Out of this entire Gamescom, secret level is probably like the coolest thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if we go on, Genshin Impact is coming to Xbox finally. After they said that Genshin Impact was not going to come to Xbox at all.
What happened to the Switch, bro? God,
Yeah, still no
it got
Switch.
to the Xbox before the Switch, bro. And
Yep.
they announced that was gonna come to the Switch. Like,
I
what the
know it
bro?
was first announced on the Switch, and it's not coming at all. But it comes out November 20th on Xbox.
I'm
Still
really
waiting
curious
for
on who's gonna pick it up on Xbox. I'm like, I'm just
yeah.
trying to think of like it's probably gonna be like a small selection,
Yeah,
really small selection at that point. So
It's gonna come out on the Switch too.
yeah, maybe.
makes
Just
sense.
so just so it can have it run at a stable 60.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
that's true because I doubt it'll run 60. It'll have to run at least 30 on the Switch for sure.
Mm.
A new Dying Light game was announced, and let's see,
Dying Light Beast looks cool. Looks nice. Looks cool.
Goat Simulator remastered.
Another Goat Simulator
A
game.
new Mario
I,
Kart Lego set, and I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. So basically nothing. Like Gamescom to me, honestly, was man. I hate to be rude. I don't like us, talking bad about like other people's like work, but I mean, I gotta be honest. It was boring. Like I was bored. I tried to pay attention to it. I'm like, no. Like I'm glad I didn't stream it. And I was worried because I was like, man, there might be some really awesome things here. Like maybe I should stream it and get some live reactions there. But I was like, you know what? Last time Gamescom happened, it was pretty decent, better than most Gamescom. But I was like, I still don't trust it. And I'm glad I didn't. It was just not for me. Nothing impressive. Like not even the Final Fantasy 16 demo should have been a Gamescom announcement. But it wasn't. It was just a tweet from Square Enix. Like that easily could have been an announcement. Tokyo Extreme Racer could have been an announcement because that would have been gotten people hyped. There's a lot of weird announcements that happen out of the Gamescom opening live. But yeah, what were you guys' thoughts on this?
so I to like respond to your thing about like worrying about criticizing Gamescom. Here's the thing: if the show is shit, the show is shit. That's literally what it is.
It's not
So
a US event, right?
No, it's in
Hmm?
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the mind you, like
Is it
I
like
was
their version
trying,
of E3, kind of?
Yeah.
yeah, in a sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I was trying to go pull through with it, but it's just it wasn't hidden for me either, right? I think one of the cool announcements was probably the Dying Light Beast in because they did say that they were trying to include that game into Dying Light 2, but they couldn't because the game itself wound up being its own thing. Which a quick thing for anybody that's interested in Dying Light Beast is that if you get by Dying Light 2 Ultimate Edition, you also get the game along with that too. And it would be advantageous for you to get it if you don't want to pay like another $50 for a Dying Light game. And I think you can get it off of Green Man Gaming Ultimate Edition for like around $44. So you're practically getting two games into one at that point. So just a heads up for anybody that's interested. But but yeah, Gamescom wasn't just it wasn't great. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun for me, if anything. If anything, I had a better time watching the Nintendo Museum Direct than the Gamescom. Which, by the way, I'm hoping to go over there by
Yeah.
next year because I'm trying to have him get a Japan trip by next year. Which I think they said that the Nintendo Museum was going to open by like the end of this year. I think.
Yeah, it's by the end of this year.
Yeah,
Which
so
it's something we
perfect
gotta talk
timing.
about.
Yeah, perfect timing. So I'm like, awesome. Can't wait to see this in Kyoto and everything. But yeah, it's just it wasn't good. Simple as that. And like, and the thing is, you can worry about how much work they put into this and that. At the end of the day, customers 99% of the time are never going to see that. They want because they want to see the end product, not the entire process to make that product itself. And
Yeah.
that's just the rural reality as it is when it comes to delivering products to customers and everything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
What about you, fan?
I mean, like I said earlier, like I couldn't even sit down and watch the whole 2.5 hour stream just because it was not great.
Yeah, like I agree with Ash when it comes to the Nintendo Museum thing. Like I thought that was pretty good, dope. Like seeing the giant like 3DS and stuff like that hanging, and then like having I thought the coolest thing was like they had the giant NES controllers. Like yeah, you can go ahead and play Mario, and it's purposely big because two people have to play it. One person controls the face
Yeah.
buttons, the other one controls the D pad. I thought that's the coolest
I,
thing
I,
ever.
I thought that was I thought that was genius. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, sign me up, Kyoto, bro. I'm gonna be in Japan next year, so I'm gonna be heading
Like
over there first thing, bro. That'll be a
yeah.
memory and a half.
Yeah, they
So
even
hey,
had I think Mario 64 was one. You could control the N64. I was like, that's gonna be awesome. Like they have a giant N64 controller. They had the Wiimote. You had like two people holding up the Wiimote like,
mm-hmm.
because it's giant and they're I forgot what game they were playing. Um, was it Mario Galaxy maybe? I don't know. But yeah, they have a bunch of cool stuff like that. I agree. Like that whole 10-minute direct was definitely way more fun than anything in Gamescom. Even though like Secret Levels looks pretty cool, and it's not a game. It's about games, but it's not a game. That looks pretty decent. We'll have to wait to see. Like I think the God of War one and the Ghost of Tsushima one has potential. Sifu also because like you said, Sifu is basically a movie just in video game format. And I guess you
they
could say Ghost of Tsushima same thing and God
I
of
just
War.
hope they don't mess up on Mega Man. That's all
Yeah,
I'm asking.
I feel like they will. Like I don't know. I don't have.
Like I was surprised that Mega Man was going to be included, so I was like, great. Don't mess this up, please. Like that's all I'm
If
asking.
they want to make it dark and gritty, then they should make it about X because like X's world is a little bit grittier
Yeah,
than
I agree.
Mega Man's.
Hmm.
Or even do Mega Man Zero. I think that would even be better because it's grittier than any of those because there's a whole war that broke out. So like population is like humans are almost non-exist. Or they're what's it called? They're almost extinct in that world. Like that's probably the better route to go to.
Imagine making that game, but upping the graphics to where it looks like Metroid Dread.
Yeah, Metroid Dread. That would have been awesome.
Because
A
I mean, Metroid
Metroid
Dread is
Dread short would have been cool. Like
like
a
yeah,
video.
but like if they made the ZX game
Yeah.
in that style, like where it's just like 3D backgrounds with high fidelity sprites,
That oh man, I said this
and that
before.
gameplay is fast. That gameplay is fast.
Yeah. The future of Mega Man is Metroidvania. I'm calling it. It is the future of Mega Man. Like the classic robot monster thing is good, but people won't play or pay, $60 for that. But you give them a good Metroidvania, they probably will.
Yeah, especially if you keep it in the realm of ZX, where you have the option of sword and blade
yeah.
or sword and gun, like I think it just opens up the realms for different playstyles more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They also need to go. They also can like to go back into the RPG games too. I want them. I want them to test the waters again by releasing a remaster for Command Mission because I actually did enjoy that game. Don't know how popular it was, but the game
It
was
seems pretty
good. The game was
popular
fun.
because in my Mega Man
Dude, what if
video,
they
like every other comment was talking about you forgot about Command Mission. I was
what
like,
if they did
I
a
know
tactic style Mega Man where it's Maverick Wars?
that'd be cool. Like
Yeah,
I
like
like tactics games, so I would like
I
it.
know. I'm just saying like that's more things that they could do. Like
yeah,
you would have
yeah.
individual
It's
units to have certain abilities.
literally the ball is in their court. They don't have to go back to the basics when it comes to old style Mega Man. They can just go into a whole different genre and stuff and just go off of that. They need to actually put more energy into the actual IP itself. And kudos to them for re-releasing Mega Man Battle Network, the whole collection, right? The whole
Yeah.
series, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
Kudos
it's
to them on that.
missing some games, but like it
Missing
has
some
all the
games,
main entries at least. In it.
yeah. So kudos to them for that. Hopefully the sales did well enough for them to be like, all right, let's try to look at other Mega Mans and see if we can like re-release those and put them on the Switch and see where it goes from there,
Yeah, I
right?
believe it
Hopefully.
did. I think
Hmm?
it's Mega Man Battle Network sold more than any of their other collections.
Great.
Yeah, more
That's what I
than
like to hear.
yeah, because I believe Mega Man Zero, and then Mega Man Battle Network were the top two collections. The most
See
recent
at
ones,
that
of course.
at
Yeah,
that point, if they can just do like a either a reboot or a remaster of Command Mission and get enough sales for that. Did they make a Command Mission too?
no, It was
Okay, so at that point,
yeah.
if they have good enough sales for that, then they can make a command mission too, and just continue the story off from there. If anything,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. That'd be nice. It's ideas. If you want more money, then maybe dip in and take a risk. That's the whole point of a business, right?
I would
So
rather them come out with a Mega Man 12 and just finish Mega Man's timeline than come out with a Mega Man X9 and finish Mega Man X's timeline.
true. Yeah.
Because what happens is we don't know what happens in between Mega Man. What was the last one? 11. So Mega Man. We don't know what happens between the end of Mega Man 11 and the start of Mega Man X. Like we know a couple things, but we don't show. They don't show what happens. They're like, what happens to Mega Man? Did he die? Did something happen with him? Why is he gone? Right? Why does
Yeah.
X have to take the mantle? And then
His
when it
Torchlight
comes,
is gone by then, but he
Yeah.
like set him up like, hey, I've scattered abilities out in the world for you to find. to
yeah,
upgrade you.
exactly. And then when it comes to Mega Man Zero starting, we know there's the L4s and stuff like that, but we really don't know what led to that point. And then Mega Man X8 leaves on a huge cliffhanger where like Zero understands. He's like, dude, like I'm the bad guy. Like all this is happening because of me. And and then we find out too that like Axel is basically turning into like they will use him to turn into Sigma, and stuff like that. Like it was a whole like I'm not sure if you guys played X8, but X8 had a like if you're huge into the Mega Man lore, that was a huge like cliffhanger because you're like, wow, like no matter what happens in the end, Zero just is a bad guy. Like
What if they just rebooted everything?
Nah.
Like Mortal Kombat, like Mortal Kombat 1, right? Kind of rebooted the whole timeline, right?
Yeah.
They kept Liu Kang, but that's because he, became God, the fire god.
Well, they had
God
to
of
do
Fire,
that
and then they
because it
rebooted
was
the timeline.
necessary.
I know,
Didn't they
but that's
finish
what I'm
it,
saying.
though? Like, because this is a second reboot.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, but like, in a sense, like those timelines technically finished, right? Like for here, like we have gaps between each timeline that doesn't
I know,
explain.
but that's gonna depend on the like if they want to like take the time to like finish
Yeah.
those stories, or like, hey, would it just make more sense to like let's just reboot, do a whole new story, like do something different.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would
They can try and finish
say
Zero. They can try and finish Zero. They can
I
try
would
and
say if a
finish,
new director
CX.
was
Yeah.
trying to reboot, trying their hand into Mega Man, yeah, maybe a reboot will be necessary.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Mega Man and X, they're literally almost done with the story in a sense because it's been like brewing for such a while. To me, I don't think it would make any sense for them to just scratch everything and just reboot right off the bat. At least finish those stories and then reconsider on rebooting those franchises at that point, right? So
Yeah, can you imagine that? It's like I don't know. Imagine if we had like Star Wars, right? Phantom Menace and Clone Wars, but we never got Revenge of the Sith. And then A New Hope starts. And then you have A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, but we never get Return of the Jedi. And then you have The Force Awakens that happens. And stuff like that. You're like, wait a minute, but what happened? Like who's Darth Vader? Or not who's Darth Vader, but like what happened to Darth Vader? Like why is he not here? Who are these people? We don't understand any of that. Like having that important part of the timeline, even though those are like years later, they're still an important piece of those timeline, and we don't have those important pieces answered in any of those games. So like, for me personally, I wouldn't want to reboot yet. I would say finish it and then you can reboot it.
Exactly.
Because I want to know what happened. It won't be the same too because KG unless he comes back, like he's not at Capcom no more. So unless somebody that knows him and knew what he was going for was there, like we probably won't really get that ending. And that might be the biggest issue there is they don't know how it ends.
Unless they release like a short or something.
Yeah.
Like the secret levels,
Yeah.
Something like that
Explains
episodic that kind of explains.
Yeah. There was a spin-off game that's not canon, but in there, the canon what people thought was canon was that if you fight I think if you fight Wily as base, maybe I think it is, after you fight him, Zero comes out.
Game.
There should that would be well. There's Mega Man and Base, but it was
Yeah, but
you
you're
fight Wily with Base and you beat him. Zero comes out and kills Base, and Wily talks about how Zero is his greatest creation and everything like that. Because we know that Doctor Wily created Zero, so that was interesting, but it's not canon. So we're like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, this turned into a Mega Man talk. See, this is more exciting than Gamescom. Like that one little thing of secret levels with Mega Man is more exciting than Gamescom because we're able to have this whole conversation on Mega Man because of that.
Such a tangent.
Yeah, it's Mega Man needs to come back. Like, it's good. Mega Man's great, and I agree with Fan where the future of Mega Man's Metroidvania. If you played ZX and ZX Advent, those are pretty much Metroidvanias, and they work good. It does good for the series, and I think that's the way to go. But that's just me personally. Yeah, but yeah, I think that's everything that we have for the podcast today. Anybody want to mention anything? Anything that I might have missed that happened this week?
I know I kind of missed the discussion for 16, so I'm just gonna add my 2 cents.
Yeah.
FF16 finally finally got to a platform where it rightfully should be, which is PC. So I'm really happy that it finally happened. I did play a good amount of the demo and stuff. Game runs so much better. Oh my god! I was like despite that it has some funny moments with the PC port because of Square Enix, but I know they're making their due diligence to make these patches come out before the actual release because they've already made some patches available for the demo and everything. So as time goes on, they're going to just keep gathering more data, see what people are saying, so that way they can go back in there and be like, okay, we got to fix this, we got to fix that. So by the time September 17 hits, it's gonna be a whole different port at that point. So I'm happy. I think legit every company should be releasing a demo a month ahead of time, so that way they can constantly gather data and see what's crashing, what are the bugs, so that way they can iron those things out before the actual release. Like it's free data for you. It's free data for the team, if anything, and you don't have to make a demo like paid. Make it free, have us try it out, and then so that way you can make the actual release a good release. So that's a lot of things that companies need to revisit or take note of, because I know back then we used to have a lot of demos. So we used to have a lot of demos. You used to have it great, but not as much. But yeah, I'm really happy with the current demo so far. It's great, really fun. It's just beautiful. But yeah, that's all I got to say about the FF16 PC, and I finally get to actually purchase the game. So
yeah, I'm looking at the recommended specs. For processor, the recommended is AMD Ryzen 7 5700X or an Intel Core i7 10700. I'm like, man, like
it is demanding. Yeah.
Like I don't even have. I have a Ryzen 5 5600, so it's like, yeah, I'm below that minimum requirement. But GPU wise, AMD Radeon 6700 XT or an RTX 2080. So that one is,
Oh, I'm right there.
yeah. I have a 3060 Ti, so I'm
Which is
not there.
about
It's a little bit,
10% lower.
yeah. So I'm not even there. So like I won't
10% lower than 2080.
20,
yeah.
Oh, jeez, I didn't know that. Okay.
It's not a huge drop, but it's like there's certain things that the 3060 does better, but that's because of like DLSS, like the newer versions and stuff like that. So
exactly,
it kind of balances itself out at the end. But in terms of raw performance, it's about 8-10% less.
Yeah, which is tragic. It's like similar to where I with my 3080. Even if you get a 4080, it's going to be a bit better, but it's only going to be like 5 to 6% better. And I'm like, seriously, that's it? That's all I'm getting at that point. But so at that point, it's more about more features that you want, like frame generation through NVIDIA or something like that.
Yeah.
And honestly, I did think about getting a 4090. I mean, I can afford it, but I'm just like, after buying the card, I would not feel good about it at all. Because I'm just like, what's the point? I'm already enjoying my gaming with my current PC now. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's wonderful. It's great. I just can't wait. I can't wait for this to come out. I'm spending $60.
PC, James.
Hmm?
Build myself a second PC. He said.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because like if
Yeah.
I were to stream this on PCs, yeah, I would be better off probably streaming it from my PS5. But I'm probably not gonna stream it. Like I said, I'm gonna give this a second chance. It's gonna be on my Steam Deck. I'm playing all the way through my Steam Deck. Like I said, I'm actually, I think it's acceptable what I played. Yeah, you're getting those huge dips in the cutscenes and stuff like that, and it's an issue, right? Like the dips in the cutscene, but I do think, like you were saying, their optimization will come before the game will come out. I'm sure Valve will update the system to somehow get 16 to run just at a stable 30 FPS because it can definitely do it. What I play, especially in the Marlboro, like the Stillwater area, it ran at a solid 30, ran perfectly fine. I'm playing now, like I said, I'm in the part where you're Joshua in the castle, and it's only that little like flame orb thing that he has hanging around him. Like even then, like, it's running at 30, but the minute I go to where there's like another torch, then it dips. So definitely whenever
Mhm.
there's fire, it tends to dip. And the fight with Phoenix and Ifrit, but this was in the beginning, so I didn't have like FSR 3.0 or anything like that turned on. The fight in the beginning was horrible. It was
I
like
bet, yeah.
yeah, it was like 19 FPS when Ifrit and Phoenix are fighting. I was like, yeah. But we'll see now when I get back to that fight. Now that I have like FSR 3.0 and I like shut off frame generation because by default frame generation was turned on. Shut that off and it probably will work better overall on
The,
Steam
the
Deck.
the the biggest update they need to do for this game is to update FSR up to 3.1 so that way when it comes to certain computers like mine for example, I can use DLSS, but at the same time I can also use FSR's frame generation because like I said before earlier, only a few games have that kind of capability, like Ghost of Tsushima on PC
Mm-hmm.
and Horizon Forbidden West can also do the same thing as well. So if they can figure out before the 17th on how to implement FSR 3.1 onto this, so that way NVIDIA users with a non 40 series car can like take advantage of both frame gen and DLSS, I think that'll be a game changer from there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I hear you there. Well, we'll wait and see. We'll be back on when 16 comes out. We'll definitely discuss it when it officially comes out because I'm more likely to get it day one because I don't think there's anything major coming out in September that I'm looking forward to. I got to look at release dates. I don't believe there's anything I care about in September, but I could be wrong.
maybe I mean the this is up to you, but I think that one DLC is coming out for Persona 3 Reload, but
Oh
that
yeah,
that
I still
that
gotta
that that
finish
that
Persona 3 Reload.
that depends how you feel and how they did their business practice. For me, I'm gonna weigh on it a little bit, honestly,
Yeah,
because I'm just like, damn, you're charging this much? I'm
yeah,
like, bro, back in the day, we got the whole package for like 30 bucks, bro. Like, come on, bro. So, hey,
it'll
that's
be
just
a
a
little
me
more.
thing, though. So,
We'll see. Well, I guess this is Sonic. I think Sonic and Shadow Generation comes out September also.
I think that's October.
Is it October? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think you're right. Yeah, because that comes out around the same time as Sparking Zero. Um,
Wait, what?
yeah, because Sparking Zero is in October as well.
Oh, it's not on the same date.
Oh, I don't know if it's on the same date. I know it's around the same time. Let me see.
So, Sonic X Shadow Generation is coming out on October 22nd. I think
Okay.
Sparking Zero is coming out on October 11th, but if you
Yeah, it's
buy
October
an
10th.
early copy,
Yeah.
3 days early, so it will technically come out on October 8th, which is on my birthday.
Oh yeah, 7. Yeah, 3 days early. Yes, October 7th.
Yeah,
If you buy, if you pre-order, or no, you have to get
October
the
7th.
deluxe.
I
Yeah.
thought it's coming on the 11th.
No, well, the official date's the 10th.
Oh,
That's
I
yeah,
thought it was the 11th. Okay,
yeah.
all right.
But then you get if you buy the deluxe or the ultimate edition, then you get the 7th.
Yeah, makes
Right.
sense.
Supports HDR. We're speaking of HDR. Final Fantasy 16 on Steam Deck supported HDR on there, which is pretty cool.
Oh, they didn't know they could. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Steam Deck could do it, and it looked great. There's another game that I was playing that supported HDR that I can't remember. I don't know. I was playing on my Steam Deck. What game was it now?
I still need to get that Steam Deck OLED. I just don't know when. At this point.
Yeah, you gotta get it. Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I think that's everything that we have for today's podcast. I appreciate everybody for joining. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. 2K is the goal. Hopefully by the end of the year, if we can get that, let's do it. Once again, I want to apologize that I didn't do a video last week. It's been tough past few weeks to try and do videos. Hopefully, like I'm not promising a video this week, but I'm hopefully by next week I can be all settled out and I can get back to my weekly routine of doing videos. I'm probably gonna do a YouTube short on the Final Fantasy XVI performance. So I can kind of showcase how it looks on the Steam Deck, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are wondering how it looks and performs on the Steam Deck. So I will showcase that for sure on there and kind of talk about what settings I had there. But other than that, yeah, I won't expect a video this week, but I will definitely try my best to put out a video for sure. But we will be back with the group stream on Thursday, continue our run of Elden Ring, and then Friday I'll continue Twilight Princess, because we're getting pretty much to the final stretch of that game. We have 2 more temples, I believe, and then we're done. And then, of course, Ganon, and we're done with that game. So, yeah, definitely join us for the streams. As always, thanks for watching. Fam, where can I catch you at?
You can catch me at YouTube, Twitch, X/Twitter at Phaneckswhy.
Are you, Ash?
You can catch me at Asher Sharm on YouTube. I haven't uploaded anything yet, so.
And as always, you can catch me right here, where usually do streaming 3 days a week. Thursday we have the group stream, Friday solo stream, and then Saturday, of course, the podcast. And I try to do at least 1 video a week showcasing that. My name is James. Thank you, fans. Thank you, Ash. And we will see you guys next time.